Welcome to another episode of the Thought Exchange Cafe.
You're tuned into the cafe of the mind, where thoughts are brewed and souls unwind. The air is rich with dreams so fine. We pour our hearts in every line. The whispers dance like light through trees. The melody that sets us free. Welcome to the Thought Exchange, where ideas flow and minds arrange. A place where words will never fade. In this cafe, we're unafraid.
Greetings and welcome to another episode coming to you from the Thought Exchange Cafe. And I want to thank you for tuning in to this episode this evening. My name is Tony Davis and I am your host. Here at the Thought Exchange Cafe, we bring you educational, motivational, inspirational content, as well as information from some of our own lives, and I can say from my own life, that may help you to eliminate some of your fears. Now, in the studio, we've done some upgrades in the studio lately. So hopefully it will be a much more inviting place, a much more engaging place for the host, myself, and for the folks that's going to be coming in and sitting down with me. As well as this space is open for anyone who wants to come in and have a space of their own in order to put out some information that's going to educate someone else, that's going to inspire and motivate. This space is not just my own space just for me. No, it's not. It's a space where the door is open. And if you come in and you have a great attitude and you have good energy and good vibes, then you are welcome. However, this is not the space for any type of drama. We're not going to be talking about man versus man or woman versus woman or woman versus man and man versus woman. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to be talking about those shenanigans that are happening all over the globe right now. You know, because negativity is easy to talk about. Negativity is easy to engage with. But as they say, do what is hard. And what is hard sometimes is gravitating away from that negative, away from the negative talk, away from the negative energy, away from those bad vibes, because they're all around us and they're going to be there. And as we know, misery loves company. Okay? You don't have to engage in that. No, you do not. Make a logical decision to disengage, because by disengaging, you show self-growth. You show emotional intelligence, because that's who you are. Right now, there are folks that are looking for other people to get into those things that they are into and know that they're not good. Summertime is coming. It's here. It's hot. And people want to get out. And people want to get out and have fun. They want to get out and stretch their legs. You know, but at the same time, right, you got some folks out here that don't know how to just relax a little bit, breathe a little bit. Everybody's going through something, from the richest man to the poorest person that you see. Everybody's going through something. But guess what? Your life is your life. And you've been given only one life. Enjoy that life. Yes, we all going to have some type of baggage. Yes, we all got skeletons in our closet. Show me one person that don't have a skeleton in their closet. You can't. You see? You can't. Everybody has their own skeletons. Everybody has their own demons. And why I say that is because, you know, we don't have to, and you do not have to, right? You don't have to like get into other people's stuff just because it feels good. Just because something feels good doesn't make it good. You know, learn how to back away from certain things. Learn how to cross the street. It's okay crossing the street. Trust me, it's okay. But be careful of the traffic, all right? We don't want you getting hit or getting hurt in any type of way. You know, when you are in the midst of building something, right? And tonight's episode is going to be on building and stretching yourself. You know, when you begin to build things, right? Sometimes building that foundation is not the easiest thing to do because you're looking at all four corners. And keep this in mind, there is not one corner that is truly square. So we can look for perfection, but the best thing that I've learned to do is just strive for it. Because every time I look to be totally perfect, guess what? It leaned to the left or to the right a little bit more. And I kept going back trying to figure out why. And it was always there because it wasn't supposed to be perfect from the get-go. Because we're not perfect. None of us are perfect human beings, right? We're building on a daily basis. And what I've learned is in building, like building blocks, when you're building building blocks or even Legos, you have to connect those Legos, right? And you have to make sure that they click in place. Because if they don't click in place, you can get to a certain level and it tumbles over. And that's okay too. Because as long as you got life, and as they say that when you fall on your back so you can get up. You know, let's take a lesson from our children or those children that we see, right? A child will fall down many, many times, but they will cry a little bit and they're going to, scream and scratch, but they're going to get up. They're going to get up. And that's a lesson that I had to learn. I had to learn that it's okay to fall, Tony, as long as you fall on your back. If you fall on your back, you can get up and you can begin to rebuild. And in rebuilding, sometimes we notice where the flaw is. And once we see where the flaw is, we can correct it and keep moving forward. And that's part of failing forward. It's okay. It's okay. And as I said, this episode is on building. When I began to build Thought Exchange Cafe, it started out slowly. And it started out with me, talking about what it is that I wanted to do. And I guess it seemed like it was somewhat grandiose to some because they didn't think that it could be done. They did not think it could be done. And if I would have allowed their thought and their opinion to sway me, I would not be here in front of you today. And yes, this is all new to me. It's all new to me. I don't mind today jumping into something new because what is it doing? It's helping me neurologically to build new neurons and to connect new brain activity by learning something new on a daily basis. Because they say as we age, our brain activity slows down. And that's one of the causes of Alzheimer's and other neurological, behavioral, and cognitive disease and decline in function. Because what I've learned is that folks, they have folks that retire. And a lot of folks that retire, they stop learning. They stop moving. And that brings about the decline. They stop building. But then you look around and you see these folks who are retired, but they're constantly moving. And their brain function is on 100. And if they were to listen to the naysayers just to say, just sit down, you've done all that you could do. What happens when you sit down and you do all that you could do? You begin to wither away with time. And I want to go back to talking about in building, the building blocks. And the building block of building the Thought Exchange Cafe. There were folks that were non-believers. And I couldn't worry about the non-believers because for a moment there, I started to gravitate to that non-belief. But what happened was I had someone, and her name is Mother Owens. I had someone say to me that upon this journey, if you can help one person, then your job has been done. But first, you must help yourself first. You take the first step and watch how God, the universe, and the powers that be begin to take many, 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 many more steps for you. And that's what I did. I began to take one step. Even today, I'm still building. I'm still learning. I'm still progressing. And as Les Brown said, if you judge me now, you're judging me prematurely. And guess what? It's okay that you judge me, as long as I don't judge myself. Because see, once again, in building, when we're building something that is worthy of something, what do we have to do? What do we have to do? We have to stay focused. We have to stay on point. We have to stay on track. And sometimes you may fall off track. Sometimes you might get a little discouraged, a little overwhelmed. And I'm talking from experience because I got frustrated. I got overwhelmed. And they say the biggest battle, the greatest battle, is the one in between the two ears, which is the mind. And my mind would say to me, why are you doing what you're doing? You don't sound right. You don't look right. No one's going to want to hear what it is that you have to say. It's enough people out there, talking. Is your voice going to matter? And I remember getting up one morning and saying to myself, what are you going to do today, Tony? Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go and put out any content. I'm not going to go, no, I'm just going to give it up and keep on doing what I'm doing. Because it seemed easier. And it was that reasoning mind. It was that reasoning mind put me into comfort zone. And then I had to remember that every time I got in the comfort zone, I was still thinking about what it is that I could have done or what it is I should have done. I don't want to be that guy today. I don't want to think about what it is I could have done or what it is I should have done. I'm just going to get up and I'm going to do it. And if I have to do it just for me, then it have to be just for me. If you have to get up and you got to build just for you, then get up and build just for you. Because remember, you have one life, and it's your life. Just because it may not seem worthy or buildable to someone else. But you got to ask yourself a question. What have they done that you are attempting to do? Have they even tried? If they have not tried, then it's time to walk away from that because they don't know the end result. And sometimes we don't know the end result of a decision or a choice until we make it. Building. In building. In building, folks, we're gonna scratch our knuckles. We're gonna get tired. Right? But it's okay to scratch your knuckles and to get tired. But it's not okay. It's not okay to give up on yourself or to give up on your dream. Yes, we have a lot of things that's going to be coming our way. We got a lot of those unforeseen things that come. And yes, life shows up. But after life shows up, I had to ask myself a question, because life shows up. What are you going to do? Are you going to allow this setback to hold you back? Or are you going to keep pushing? You're going to keep working out. You're going to keep strengthening that muscle. Come on. Let's get up and do some push-ups. Come on, let's do a little bit of stretching. Greg LeMond has a quote. And the quote says that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. Ladies and gentlemen, in building your dream, in building that pathway for yourself, you're gonna meet some hurdles. You might even fall into a pitfall or a hole, right? And you might even trip. But just remember this: as long as you can get up, you can start over. And I get it. It's not easy starting over. It's not easy. I've been there. But what I do know is this, is that all I have is what I have right now. And what I have right now is some gratitude. Some gratitude to be alive. Some gratitude to be in front of you. Some gratitude to have another opportunity to do much better today than I did yesterday. And then I had to realize also that after a certain time, worry about what? Stress about what? Because after a certain time, there's nothing you can do. The bill collectors are not calling after a certain time. Okay? Certain things you can't do. So you might as well rest up and get ready to go back to building tomorrow. And if God gives you a tomorrow, then be grateful for that tomorrow. When you open up your eyes, go and open up your blinds. Because there's another quote that says, in order for the darkness to disappear, just open up the blinds. And when we open up those blinds, we see a bright light. But allow that bright light to reflect, not just on you, but in you and through you. Because you are the builder. You are the master builder. You are the master builder of your internal house. Build your internal house. Build your internal house on a good foundation. Love, peace, joy, understanding, understanding, hope, faith. Let those higher laws allow you to overcome the lower laws. And keep your tool belt on. And use your tools wisely. Thank you for tuning in to another episode coming to you from the Thought Exchange Cafe. And I hope that some of this resonated with you. Or if you think it might resonate with someone else or it might help someone else, share it, tune in, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Tony Davis, and I am the host of the Thought Exchange Cafe. And if you would like to come in and sit down and have a conversation, or you would like to come in and check the space out for yourself, and once again, right, don't worry. Your voice has power. Don't worry about how you sound. Don't worry about how you might look, right? Just know that your voice has power, because if you're still standing today, and I'm sure you done been through some things that you may not want to talk about, right? But it's those things that you don't want to talk about that's going to help someone else that's going through, right? Because guess what? You've been saved to serve. And by being saved to serve, right, we got to help one another. So until I see you again, may God continue to bless you, hold you, and keep you. And remember, you are the master builder. Practice some kindness and keep your tools sharp.